Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you doing? Yeah? Are you ready to embrace your inner weirdo? Well, just to reiterate, I think it's really true that when you try to be somebody you're not, you try to fit in, you actually block yourself from shining. And it's when you decide to accept parts of yourself that you might even think of as flaws because they're a little off, they're a little strange, they don't fit in with maybe the people around you, their belief system. But it's when you do that that you really, really start to come into your own. And when you start to come into your own, that's when things really start to work for you. Relationships get better, your whatever your aspirations are just seem to get on a smoother track. So it's all really about embracing the parts of yourself that you already are embracing, but also that other stuff that you're trying not to notice that's true about you. Okay, so are you ready to go on this little ride?
Yeah, sure.
One person, all right, I'll just go over here and talk to you then. So I have a PhD in cognitive psychology, and for 13 years I taught classes on topics like physiological psychology, memory, problem solving, attention, really hard topics. And I was doing really well in my field. I was publishing in the best journals, and I had really good teaching evaluations. But I felt just a little empty inside through the whole thing. And even though I won that award at UCSC, I just always felt like there was something I wasn't doing that I should be doing, but I couldn't figure out what that was. And in the meantime, I was getting all of these students coming to me for advice about what graduate school they should go to or what they should do with their lives. And I always found myself telling them to follow their hearts. And they always looked at me like nobody else had told them that. Not their parents, not other professors. And I started to realize, gosh, this seems like an important piece of advice. They would look so relieved. And I would hear from them later, and their lives really turned out pretty well. And after about the 1,000th person left my office with that smile on her face, I can just be me, I started thinking, wait a minute, I am not following my own advice. What do I really want to do? What is it? And this little tiny voice inside of me said, you want to be a rock and roll star. Now, you can imagine, by the way, I am wired for sound. Have you seen this clever strap to my boot? So I'm already weird and wacky this morning. But you can imagine how I reacted to that. It's like, a rock and roll star? Wait a minute, I have a PhD from Princeton. I'm doing well. This is crazy, right? Right? Yeah. It's just, thank you. It's insane. All right. And a lot of the professors that taught with me also thought it was crazy. Although I have to say that I was recommended by a professor here today who I taught with at Santa Clara University. They don't think I'm crazy anymore. All right. So basically, I decided I would follow that little dream. And I decided I would start to write songs and I'd give it a whack. And I hadn't written that many songs yet, so I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But I went for it. And not too long after that, I ended up having a CD released in South Africa, where I lived for a while, and I had a hit there. Great, thank you. Thank you. You can also applaud over there if you want to. And then a few years later, I had another hit in the UK. And won a Billboard Award, so I've done okay. So it's like, oh, well that was easy. That's okay, so okay, you guys know what to do. I don't really need to talk anymore, right, we're done. No, it's not that easy, actually. It takes a little bit of digging. And one of the things I decided to do after I found that I had this other calling that I had been ignoring a lot of my life was to start teaching creativity and self-realization workshops, helping other people to do it too. And lo and behold, I'm not the only one. Which is why I'm pretty sure that everybody in here is sitting on top of something also that you would really like to do, or maybe you're doing it a little bit, that you could